I mean, what was like working with you. He said that it's been a pleasure. Obviously you helped him get his start, so he appreciates that. What are your thoughts about that?
I'm not sure if I helped him get his start. I helped him get his middle, maybe. It's like that. We're talking about Amin Al-Hassan, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. No, he's been great to work with. So much fun, so smart, and really sees the game in a little bit of a different way than some of our other analysts at ESPN with different kinds of backgrounds. And that's really what you want, right? I think sometimes when we talk about diversity, everyone hones in on physical characteristics. But what you really want is diversity of thought, right? And you do get that when you get people from different backgrounds. And Amin is someone who comes from a scouting background, he comes from a front office background, just sees the game a little bit differently than some of our guys who come from a reporting background or even a playing background. And it's been great to have him have that presence on our show. He's just so much fun to work with.
We had a ongoing debate earlier about I guess who's the better dunker. Obviously you've had Vince on your show,
We have.
and Zach's in town tonight. What are your thoughts about that?
I got to go old school Vince. Someone's got to dethrone the king to get to the king, be the king, right? So I think Zach's got some time ahead of him before he gets to Vince Carter level. Vince is still doing it at 40 plus, doing windmill 360s. So we'll see if Zach's doing that later in his career.
What are your thoughts about Luka Doncic, obviously, from year one to year two?
I mean, it's just obviously phenomenal. And it's funny, I was just speaking to him, we did an interview with him, and he said even he was surprised at sort of the leap that he's been able to make. But one thing he noted is that this past summer was the first summer he could really put in a substantive amount of work. That if you think about the summer before, played in the NBA EuroLeague championships, right? Came over, got drafted, it was all a whirlwind, went back to Slovenia, came back over here, didn't have as much time, certainly with the Maverick staff, or just in general, to work on his game. And here, once the NBA season was over, he was able to just really focus and spend that time working on basketball, and we're all seeing the results. Pretty good.
And then Vince, 4 decades. What are your thoughts about that?
Man, well, I try not to think about it too much because I did cover Vince when he was playing at the beginning of his Raptors career. So he got older, I didn't, which is weird. I don't know how that works. But yeah, it's obviously a tremendous accomplishment. One thing that I say a lot about Vince is that he took a different road than some other veterans we've seen in his position. You've seen guys who said, I haven't really gotten a chance to win a ring. I'm going to join a team where I have a chance to win a title. And even if I'm like the guy at the end of the bench who's more of just a veteran presence and helping younger guys in the locker room and doing all of that and maybe seeing a few minutes on the floor here or there, it's worth it because I want to win the title and have that experience. And that's great. I mean, we've seen guys do that and really contribute in so many different ways. But Vince's experience was that he was smart enough to know, you know what I actually want to do is I just want to play basketball. I want to be playing basketball, meaningful minutes for a meaningful position until the end of my career. And that is why you saw him in places like Sacramento and Atlanta, where there wasn't really a chance to win a ring, but he said, I can actually be on the floor and play. And I think that should be a great model for a lot of players as they reach kind of the later stage of their career. Either option is fine, but just to know that there are options, that you might want to do that version, or you might want to do the David West version. But just to know that it's sort of a different way to go, and I think you can't argue with his results. He's been a great part of that Atlanta team.
And the final question, what are your thoughts about this possible in-season tournament?
I need to know more about how it's going to work before I can pass a decree on it. I know that's kind of a non-answer, but there's been a lot of different permutations. It's hard to have an opinion on something when we don't really know what we're going to have an opinion on. So I'm going to give him a chance to formulate it, see how it would work, what the stakes would be, and then we can figure out if we think it's a good idea or not.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Hey there, NBA fans. For exclusive NBA content, subscribe to Fanatics View YouTube down below.